Welcome everyone to another episode of Talent You Should Know, where we focus on the entertainment industry on a different level. Not only will there be artist and actor interviews of known and unknown talent, but insight into the team behind them that helps them build their brand. Each week, we'll tackle a different person in the industry with talents in their own rights. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome everyone to another episode of Talent You Should Know. Today we have with us Miss K. How are you today?
I am wonderful. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for being on. I'm telling everyone this. I met you on Clubhouse and you gave me like really good advice that actually helped me like monetize a little bit of my business. And it was like our first conversation.
Absolutely.
Like,
that part. That's what it's about.
Are you going to be on?
Why not share the information? I mean, it's not going to take anything away from me for sharing it with you. So I'm glad, happy.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely.
Helping each other. I like that. So I want to start from the beginning. I know that you started off as a blogger for like 12 years, right?
Absolutely, I did. I come from an entertainment family, basically. You know, my father owned a nightclub in Jersey. That's where I'm from. I live in Miami now. Yes. So, you know, I grew up with the Queen Latifahs, the Naughty by Natures, Lords of the Underground, you know, so they all came through the club and, you know, we all grew up together. So it just stayed within me to be in the industry.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I moved to Atlanta as well. And while I moved to Atlanta, I ran into my brother, his name is Andre, and I love Andre to death. And Andre had a TV talk show, and I did blogging for him, and he introduced me into that world, and I'm like, I kind of like this.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Florida and started doing the same thing. I would blog for fashion shows. I love the Ankara fashion shows. Yeah. I would blog for poetry events, you know, models, you know, all of that. And I was also known as a picture girl because I took a lot of photos of everything. So I went from blogging to vlogging, videos and photos. And then, you know, I also started, I was a media personality. I was a radio talk show host.
What was that like? Because I saw that you did that. So what was that like? Because I imagine.
Oh, that was wonderful. You know, it's about growth and transition.
Yeah.
And then everything just fell into place. It was like, you know, being out there, being in front of the camera, being behind the camera, doing the interviews, talking to people, networking.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Building relationships.
Yeah.
That's a key to what, you know, how I've grown so much. Because, you know, people I've dealt with 12 years ago are still like, what do you need, Miss K, if I was to call? You know, and it's all about having those relationships. So that was wonderful. You know, being a radio talk show host already in the industry, having conversations. You know, it's not like really interviewing, so you did this, you did. No, it's just having a conversation, see what you got going on. Right. And I loved it.
And I heard you say, you know, you did like the behind the scenes and you did the radio portion. And, you know, I don't know if you've seen anything on my page, like my behind the scenes, like last night I was like, I'm trying to load up Outlook. I'm trying to figure out the right mic to use. Like it's a process. But when you love it, then it's not daunting. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And this is new, you know, doing it on Zoom and things like that, doing it virtually, it's different. Yeah. You know, we always did the interview side by side in the club or in the studio, you know, and it was no problem.
Right.
But I love this because, you know, all over the world can get to see you and all over the world can share and learn about people like in different regions. And that's what it's all about. Yeah. You know, because there's somebody who may need my services or want to know more about me or what we got going on. And this is a way they can find me, you know, through the World Wide Web.
Right. So what made you go into PR
full time? Because I know, you did radio, you did blogging, but I know you probably had, other side hustles as well. So what made you do it full time?
I got tired of corporate America, to be honest. And, I did corporate America for 30 years. And when my son went to the Army and he moved to Colorado and he said, Mom, I'm not coming back home. I said, are you sure? He said, no, ma'am, I'm not coming back. I love it up here. So that allowed me the freedom. I didn't have all of the responsibilities that I had. It's just me now.
Yeah.
So I was able to downsize, let a lot of things go, cash out my 401k, and did what I was passionate about.
Yeah.
And this was my passion. Yes, I struggled in the beginning. I'm not going to lie to anybody. So, I only recommend following your passion if you can afford to. And I was able to afford to do it. And I love it. I don't regret it. The struggle years is the payoff now, and it's all worth it. So, made me transition. It was just evolution.
Yeah.
I did everything else, and I love helping people. I love seeing people reach their goals. These artists, these independent artists,
yes,
they are so talented, and people don't really get to hear them. So I'm doing everything in my power to try to get them to that next level.
Yeah.
So those have been my clients. I mean, I've also had political clients. I've had corporate clients, but my heart is with the independent artists.
And that's the reason, I think that, I was drawn to you as well, because it's like, I do have people who are well known on this show, but I also like showcasing up and coming artists and up and coming actresses and, things like that, because it's like, they're doing so much to be seen. And now is actually a really good time for them because everything is virtual. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that is the thing about it, because you have to start somewhere, and who else is going to give them that start? Then us up and coming with them as well, because we're not on that major platform yet, but it's coming. And you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to be on that major platform. Right. People will see you, what you're doing. And I love what you're doing, and congratulations on it. So whatever I can do to support and push you along, I'm here to do it.
Well,
because I don't have the blue check yet. I don't have the major followers, but I have real relationships. Yeah. So that's all that matters to me.
Yeah. Yeah. So for anyone coming into this, I know you said that your son left and moved to Colorado. By the way, I'm in Colorado, which is crazy how our lives are kind of like,
I'm telling you.
So for people who are not, it's not like, well, I can now follow my dream. How should they transition into this from maybe being in the 9 to 5? Like, do they develop the relationships first, or do they start going to clubs first? What do they do?
Basically, I would say, build your catalog, build your network, build your business. If this is going to be your passion, you have to have a plan. A plan without what is it? A dream without a plan is just forget it.
I know what you're talking about, because
you know where I'm going with that. It's just it's just a dream.
Yeah.
And so you have to have a plan about what you want to do.
Right.
And when you have that plan, the pieces will fall into place. So I knew that, I wanted to help independent artists. I wanted to get them on, blogs, and I wanted to get them in radio and interviews and magazines and on the stage. I knew that's what I wanted to do. So I had to I had mentors, other publicists who have been in the business for a long time. Yeah. And having those mentors, I watch how they move, and I watch what they do. And I took notes, and, I took, anything that they gave me, I held on to, and I just utilized it. So I would just say, just build up, to the point where you have all of your ducks in a row, and then you can just move forward step by step, and as you see where the opportunity comes, where you can start to monetize, where you see that you have a product or service that is worth, that you can help someone, because, I provide a service. So I have to have the network, the relationships, in order to be able to get my client what they need. So my thing is with my clients now, I tell them I can get you anything in the world you need, but you must have a budget. I have relationships where I can get some things for free or just on my name or my face alone, but I don't want to use that up because it may come to something that I got going on that I want to use those.
And they're like, didn't you just ask me? Right. Exactly.
Exactly. So I tell them, just have a budget, have a plan, know what you want to do, know what you want out of life, and know where you want to go. And when you have those ducks in a row, hey, you want this, you want to be on that magazine, you want to be on this TV show, you want to do this, I can get it for you. So I just tell you, just have to have a plan.
Is there a difference between, like, when you worked for a magazine for a little bit, you did publicity for a magazine for a little bit, is there a difference in how you work with different media and how you promote for them based on whether it's a magazine or a person or a club or something? Is there like a different kind of plan? I've always wondered that. That's why.
Yeah, because with the magazine, it's a publication all of its own. So it really doesn't need a whole lot of publicity. It just needs to be in the hands of the specific people. It needs to be seen, so I have to get it in the hands of the people that matter. I have to get it in the hands of the celebrities. I have to get it in the hands of the other bloggers, people that will talk about this particular magazine and whatever services that they're offering that, that people can learn about. Because this particular magazine, Ace Magazine, as a matter of fact, they, put on events and they help independent artists get to the next level. So the people that have graced the cover of their magazine have, started out as an independent artist, and you've had your, your Trinas, your Rick Ross, all of those people on the cover, but they started out when they were independent, when they were small. So it's just getting it in the hands of the right people. And that's what I help them do as well. And to promote and to, the events that they have going on, just to share. It's just all about other areas of promotion, because they pretty much had it all together. I just basically had to fine tune and get in those little cracks and crevices that they weren't covering.
I'm telling you, like, just knowing that you were a blogger and that you did all of this stuff, first of all, blogging is exhausting, and people don't know how hard it is, because I have like this platform, and then I'm like, oh, I'm going to do, an article a week on who said that?
Okay.
Who said you were doing an article a week when you have 3 interviews a week and you have to do editing and you have who said that, Zag?
Honey, it is a lot of work.
It's not a game.
Not at all. And I have a pet peeve about tedious tasks. You can ask my business partner now. When it's something that's tedious, I'm like, can she do that? Can someone else do that? Because I don't like the tedious tasks. It's like, I will pay someone else to do the little tedious work. So if I need to, or get an intern. Interns are key right now. Especially if you have a legitimate business, you can get those college kids that will do those tedious tasks for college credit. So that's a really good thing. But it's like, trying to do so much, and then the writing. That's why I went to vlogging, because it didn't require a whole lot of writing, just pictures and videos. Because it's the tedious. So, but there are people that love that, and if that's your niche and that's your key, go for it. That's why I evolved, because I'm like, okay, no, I don't want to do this writing all the time. No, I don't want to take all these pictures all the time. I'd rather be behind the scenes. So I just figured out what works for me, what gave me the most joy, and this is where I'm at now. Not saying that this is where I'm going to stay, because now it looks like I done got into event planning. So you never know.
So tell me about the She Be Everywhere hashtag. There it is.
Okay. You see, I'm my own brand ambassador. Yes.
Right.
Okay. The She Be Everywhere came about several years ago because, like I said, I'm always networking. I'm always out and about. And every time I went somewhere, people were like, Miss K, I see you everywhere. Man, she be everywhere. Miss K, you be everywhere. And I was like, I like that.
Yeah.
So they started saying it. I coined it. I took it. I ran with it. If you follow that hashtag, she be everywhere. 99% of it is me. So what I do, I LLC'd it. I turned it into a business.
Right.
Everything of me is she be everywhere. You know, you Google it, YouTube it, everywhere is she be everywhere.
Yeah.
So, you know, I made it a brand. I trademarked it. So it's all me. And yes. You have to do it because it's like, this is that day and age. You have to have something that stands out, you know, and this stands out. And I love it. And, you know, people, when they call me, they're like, okay, there goes she be everywhere. And I love it, you know.
I'm in the process of trademarking Talent You Should Know. They're working on it now because, you know, it is catchy.
Yes.
That shit is expensive. So, thus far, like, what do you feel like has been your biggest accomplishment?
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Because I mean, everything I've done has given me equal joy because I mean, I've worked with A-list celebrities, athletes, you know, I've pretty much done it all. But, you know, I think, like I said, doing these events, you know, actually having my name on the background and seeing, you know, my name on the step and repeat, that's a major accomplishment because, you know, to do something and for it to come off without a hitch and to see everyone enjoy it. And they're like, when are you going to do it again? March 20th is when I'm doing it again. Because it, you know, it's a small Black business networking event. And we're doing it in Miami at a private mansion. And I mean, we have so many independent artists coming out. We're doing a fashion show. We're doing vendors. We're doing live art, the body painters.
Wow.
I mean, and it's just going to be an event. It's like, it's going to be massive right now. We have 3 acres in this mansion. So we got a lot of land to play with. And my partner, China Travels, that's my girl. You know, this was her brainchild, you know, with one of her businesses. She has 3 businesses, actually. And, you know, she said, Miss K, I want to do this. I was like, let's do it. And we did it. And it's just wonderful. So I'm excited. We're trying to, you know, get to the point where, you know, people are requesting us or, you know, larger events want to partner with us. Because we have the organization part of it and the tedious task part of it all down packed. I love it.
So is it now like, is event planning kind of the favorite thing, the favorite part about what you do? Or would you say it's still like publicity?
It's still publicity because I have a client now that I've been working with this client, oh my God, about 10 years now. But they say that's how long it takes. But I finally got this client on the cover of the magazine, Ace magazine. You know, they're working on their music, their videos. He's also a fashion designer, you know, and that's like a passion project of mine because I've seen the potential of in them for so long. You know, now it's finally coming to fruition and I'm seeing it from start to finish and I love it, you know, so if they blow up, that will probably be my biggest. You know, I've had other clients, you know, and I've gotten them on major stages and performances and things like that. But I haven't followed anyone all the way through yet. And I, you know, and I have no problem with saying that because sometimes when you're an independent artist, if you don't have financial backing, money runs out. And I'm sorry, I don't work for free, but, you know, I still am supporting them. But, you know, when you don't have the funds to pay somebody like me, then you have to do the best that you can. But trust me, if they had the money to keep going, I would see them all the way through. So that's basically the bottom line behind it. And I don't give up on a person because they don't have the money. I still help them as much as I possibly can. But, you know, there are things that you want that my looks and my she be everywhere can't buy for you. I'm sorry. You know? So you definitely have to be able to pay for the things that you want.
So where would you say, what are the common misconceptions about being a publicist?
Artists think we're managers. We are not managers. I am not your manager. I can't, pay for this. I'm not your babysitter, and I also get artists with their girlfriends or their boyfriends are calling me to find I'm not your babysitter. I'm sorry. I don't know where they are. They're not in front of me and I'm not, that confidentiality, so it's like you're a babysitter and
Right.
I just have to think about that. But yeah, I'm not your manager. My thing is to publicize whatever project you have going on so that the world can see it.
Yeah.
That's what publicity is. It's not getting you gigs. I do that because I have connections with booking agencies.
Right.
I can do this. So that's an added bonus that I have. But I'm here to get you in front of the camera. I'm here to let people know about the project that you're about to drop. That's what a publicist does, not a manager.
Right.
Not your day-to-day tasks, not paying your bills, none of that. And that's the misconception, that we're managers.
Right.
Far from it.
So I know there are probably people who are interested in doing this. They have the connections, they have that, but they're like fearful or they're scared to come into this. Do you recommend they get partners? Do you say, well, you know what, keep those connections and stay home? Or is it
Well, I mean, a partner is good, but just get out there, go to events and, network. You see someone who has a project or something that you're interested in and you want to see it through, talk to them. Say, hey, have you thought about a publicist? Have you thought about publicizing this? You got a great idea here. I want to help you see it through, because people don't know when they need a publicist, like authors. People who have books coming out, people who have like a new opening up a new business. There are so many different people that need a publicist for a short period of time. You may not have a client forever, like an artist that, has been in the business and you've seen them through their entire career. There may just be a person that just has a small project out and you work with them for that project. Right. Or they have a book coming out, anything, so if you see something, if people are not coming to you, you got to get out there and talk to the people and see what they got going on and see how you can help. Yeah. Sometimes you may not charge, it may be pro bono for you to get your feet wet, to put your name out there. It could be something that you guys are doing pro bono or, helping each other out, bartering. Because I did a lot of bartering when I first started out. Yeah. I would work for free, but it paid off in the end. So, sometimes you got to give a little to get a little.
Yeah. So I noticed that you did a little work with the Trayvon Martin Foundation. Yes. So how did that come about, and did that change you at all in any way?
Well, Sabrina, at one of my events, actually, we were at a movie premiere and, I saw Sabrina and I introduced myself to her, and I was living in the same city as where the foundation is. Right. And, I just talked to her and I approached her and, I know things were real sensitive. So my approach was, how can I help? How can I be there? What can I do? And Sabrina and I are still close to this very day. She calls me when she needs something, or she wants me to support an event, or she wants me to promote. When she was running for city council, I ran that page for her, to help her get the words out there. So I've been with her, almost from the beginning. And it's just, it changed me because the level of support that she gets and how people want to help and how people, understand her pain and what she's been through and everything. And she's just a wonderful, beautiful person. Yeah. And I love her dearly. So, I could say it did change me, but it's just the friendship that I have with her now that I cherish more,
Yeah. Can you tell me just some of the benefits of being diverse in this industry versus having a niche? Because I'm sure there's some people who just do authors or just do magazines. So what are the good things about maybe both or not good?
Well, for me, you want to test the waters in different things in different areas. And, I find that, yes, I've done an author or two. I've done the corporate, I've done the nonprofit, but you have to find out what you are most passionate about. And that's where it really lies, because when you're doing something that's a job, you huff and puff through it, it's tedious, the word I hate, but when you love it, it's not work. You're excited about doing it. You can't wait till the next day, to the next project, and when you find that, you embrace it and you run with it and you just keep building on it. So, I tell people to try a little bit of everything, because you may say, oh, I like working with authors, but then next thing you know, you really find out that working with nonprofits is where it's at. Because I have some friends of mine who started out in the entertainment side, but they felt it was more lucrative for them to work with nonprofits. And I see it and I understand it, but that's not, my passion.
Right.
I love it. I'm there to support. They need me. I'm there, but that's not a client that I really go after.
Right.
And everyone has their choice and their preference, but I say test the waters in everything. Yeah. And then you'll find what you like the most.
Yeah.
The best.
Yeah. I deviated for a while too. Like singer, songwriter. I was like, I don't want to be on stage. I don't want to sweat and dance. You know what I mean? Like I just didn't. Right. I wanted to be behind the scenes, and then life happens. I had the opportunity to write for like a couple of big people, and then I got pregnant with my daughter, and then that was, it was like a 20-year hiatus, quite honestly. And then, and then I said, you know what? I had a life-changing event. I said, I'm going to be in entertainment again because I love it so much, the arts. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't have to be this or that. I just want to be and help people and, talk to people who love this as much as I do. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And that's what it's all about, just being in the midst of everything. Yeah. And that's how I felt about it, because I love music, and I love seeing people do their dreams, you know, and it's just like so rewarding to know that I played a small part in helping them to accomplish those dreams or to get that music heard. And, it's so funny because I have this one guy who, I started working with. It's the same 10-year group, and 5 years ago, he had a song that I heard that I loved. And to this day, he has still not put out that song, but I am still listening to it every day. Yeah. And I'm still poking him like, we need to get this song out because it's still relevant. Right. And it's like, when this song comes out, I'm going to shout for joy because it's such a beautiful track and I want everyone to hear it. And I've been talking to him and he was like, I am Miss K. I'm going to get it out. I really am. I know how you feel. Like when I see him, I turn my back to him because I have an attitude because you don't have the song out
yet. It's still not out yet, right?
Yes, I want it out. Get it out, So it's all fun and games, but I just want to see people fulfill their dreams. Yeah.
So
and I get paid in the process.
Right. So what are your hopes for the future?
Honestly, I just want to travel and be happy. Yes. And, this whole COVID thing, COVID was a blessing in disguise. Yes, I lost a lot of family members during this time, but it's also, on the other hand, has been a financial blessing for me and didn't even see it. It caused me to also go a different route when She Be Everywhere couldn't be everywhere. I went and, got licensed as a licensed insurance agent. So I have a financial services business now as well. Wow. And, help people to make sure that they're that they're doing what they need to secure their financial future so that you have money to retirement on. So because I'm like, okay, am I going to sit in the corner and rock and die because of COVID? No, I went and did something productive because everyone, needs something in the financial industry.
Right.
And everyone, when they were losing jobs and losing money and everything, now I can help them position their money in valuable accounts that are high interest earning. So it's like, now I have that as a niche as well. And then these clients, the artists that I have that don't know where they're going to get the money, I can show them how to make the money that they need. Exactly. So, it's been a blessing for me, because I say during this last year, I've made more money than I did in the past 3 years before COVID.
Wow.
So, it's definitely in finding what works for you and everything. And now that the world is opening up a little bit and we're able to put on events from the outside, and, still keep social distancing in mind, I'm just, in heaven. I'm back, and it's like, even being without She Be Everywhere for a year, people, it's like my brand is solidified now that I could be gone for a year or two and I'm still relevant. And I love that, so that's a blessing, in itself.
So what's next? What's happening next? What you got going on?
Well, like I said, my event, March 20th, it's the Small Business Networking event. And besides that, just continually working with the clients that I currently have. Ace Magazine, we have another event coming up in May. With Ace Magazine, we do events that coincide with major events like NBA All-Star Weekend, BET Awards, any event that goes on, we're doing our own event right along that weekend's time as well. Right. So our next one is coming up in May. And just keep trucking along right now, until I am able to travel like I want to, and just, see the world and let She Be Everywhere be everywhere. Yes.
Well, I want to thank you for being on this show, but before you go, I want you to tell everyone where they can find you for everything.
Absolutely. Okay. On all social media platforms, I'm Miss K, MISSKAY _no excuse. Or if you look up the hashtag She Be Everywhere, it will get you to me on all of my platforms. But Miss K No Excuse on, Instagram, Twitter, and everything. And yeah, that's how they can find me. And my email is shebeeverywhere@gmail.com. And my website is www.shebeeverywhere.com.
There we go. Well,
Yes.
Thank you again. And I am looking forward to your event on the 20th. And thank you so much again for all that. Like, even I learned from you before this conversation.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me, because it's like, now that I'm behind the scenes, I rarely get interviewed myself. So I appreciate this opportunity as well.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to another episode of Talent You Should Know. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel as well as leave a review. Thanks again, and we'll see you next week.